live.
Good evening,
Hey,
everybody.
hey, everybody. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you.
Hey,
Welcome to
Katie.
episode 99. East, can you believe it? We made it to 99, girl.
I know. We chugging right along, everybody. Next week, it's the big 100th episode. I hope everybody's excited. I know I am.
I am too. Everybody,
Hmm.
right quick, please share this live right now on your Facebook page with your friends. Tell everybody just come on in so we can get ready and have a great time tonight. East, how was your weekend?
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. No complaints on this end. How about you?
It was good. It was good. Getting prepared for episode 100, actually.
Hey. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Did
Hello, Miss
Atlanta
Nell.
get hit with the weather?
Um, well, we didn't hear. I don't know about Atlanta, but
Okay,
we did.
gotcha.
So you
Okay.
can ask Nell that. Nell, did they
Hey,
get hit?
now. What's
Huh?
up now?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I'm just here today
I
to
don't
enjoy.
think they did.
I'm just here
I
today to
I don't think they did.
myself. Today we're rocking pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. As y'all know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so we want to make sure that we take the time to bring awareness to that disease. So we have a fun-filled show for y'all this evening. This is episode 99. If you don't mind, I know y'all let it throw the hearts up for us because y'all love us, but throw them nines up because that's going to take us right into episode 100. All right, so sit back and enjoy because we got a great show for y'all tonight.
Yes, gonna be a good one.
And everybody, with that being said, I hope everybody had a great week this week. And of course, that's going to pave the way for your week coming up. You always get up with the mentality that you're going to have a great day, regardless of what comes your way. Always have that mentality. I'm going to have a great day. Because you know what? On the inside of that little mind, it's listening. And you can decide that it's going to be great or it's not going to be great. So make up your mind that it's going to be a great day and allow nothing or no one to disturb that day. With that being said, let's get into episode 99 of Uncensored Minds.
So, like we like to get into every week after the affirmation is the icebreaker question. So, the icebreaker question of today is Hurricane Ivan. It hit Florida, and also it's moved its way up the East Coast. A lot of our viewing public within that path, and we want to say our condolences to those that lost their lives. Anybody that was affected by Ivan, damage wise, being displaced, or even whatever. Our prayers are going out to you. Let's talk about that real quick. We got us East Coast guys up here. Ish, myself and
Mhm.
T, and then we got our Southern Belle, Karen, who was right in the path of the destruction. As she said before, she really didn't, have so much going on, in the Georgia area as much as rain. But any stories, any family members that you talked to, any friends that was in the path, anything like that?
Yeah, I didn't
Um,
really have many. Oh, I'm sorry, KD. Go ahead.
you got, well, I was just going to say, Ebony, she lives in Florida, and her roofing, she had quite a bit of shingles to come off, but compared to the damage that other people saw, they were very blessed. Other than that, they had no damages. But
Oh,
it's the preparation for her, I think, that really wore them out. And then, of course, having to put everything back together once everything was over with. But luckily, they didn't have much damage except for the roof. That will cost them to get it fixed, but it could have been a
right.
whole lot worse.
Wow. Wow. Well, that's good that, they didn't get hit too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I didn't have any family in the midst of the path, but just seeing the photos and the footage, other people's family members that sent them things, it was just devastating just to see the flooding, the damage done, the people without power. So definitely our prayers are out to those who suffered in any way, shape, or form from Hurricane Ian.
Fortunately, I had a lot of family that's down there. A lot of my roots are embedded in the South, especially in Florida and South Carolina. As it started in the Gulf of Mexico and came around and hit the southern panhandle of Florida. So a lot of those um, towns and cities over there was flooded, starting with Naples, which got the brunt of the storm, working its way up to the Tampa area, swinging back across state towards the central area in Orlando. For some time, if you were following the storm, Orlando had the eye sitting right over top of it. It's significant to me because I have a lot of family that's based either in South Carolina and Georgia and also in Florida, and just worrying, seeing the devastation that was on the news, and devastation that was on Facebook and Instagram, and just making sure your family is safe, not being able to talk to them because they may have lost power, and they're just trying to make sure they keep their cell phones as much, as powered up as they possibly can. So if they have an emergency, they can make those phone calls, or just being able to make those phone calls after they've gotten to a safe place and they're able to call. Fortunately enough, minor damage to a lot of people's homes. I had once the storm swung up again and hit the Atlantic Ocean and gained some more strength, and then hit South Carolina. I just remember my family who lived in the South Carolina area being devastated from the last hurricane, and you're just praying and praying and praying. Faithful. I mean, the best thing that came out of this, they just lost power, some down trees, a lot of debris, but no significant damage to where they lost their homes, and more importantly, lost their lives. So again, our prayers go out to any and everyone who was in that path of destruction. And as we see now, the remnants is starting to move further up north. We had a lot of rain yesterday, a lot of rain today in the Philadelphia area. Hopefully that rain clears out tomorrow. They say it should be out of here tomorrow or Tuesday, and the sky should brighten up our days. That's what Helen has said something earlier. She said that some people that went live, and then she had somebody who died. So our prayers go out to anybody who named any fatalities during this storm.
Absolutely. Now we saw some alligators in the water too, right?
Yeah, as we share, we get together on Thursday. I know we speak about this extensively, how we get together on Thursday. I shared a picture that was sent to me by a family member, and it was a alligator swimming in somebody's living room. How crazy is that? How crazy that I know we're scared to see alligators swimming in these waters when we go to these parks and we see these things on TV. But now that shit is swimming up to you in your living room, that's the scary sight. We've seen alligators, as you've seen some on CNN, on different things that we've seen on Instagram and Facebook. We've seen them walking down the street, right? Alligators, I guess they were trying to going back to their natural habitat, which is water. So they was trying to find a safe space for them to be in. Also, we've seen sharks swimming in the middle of the streets in Florida. That just lets you know how powerful this storm was. It took a lot of water with it and dumped a lot of water in places that water should not be. And the animals
that one looked nasty too, Nell. The alligator you showed us, he looked like he was very upset.
Yeah.
He looked
hungry, so and want somebody. So again, our prayers go out to everybody. Hopefully everybody can rebuild. Anybody that was been devastated and hit hard from Ian. We're still not out the woods yet. Hurricane season is in full force. We typically don't see the end of hurricane season until November. So this is when the storms start to heighten up. And we start to see those storms that causes mass destruction hit up here. I remember last year? Last year, Philly, for the first time in my life, we've experienced hurricanes here in Philly, like the remnants. But this is the first time I've seen anything so catastrophic to where it was water everywhere. And there was water in our downtown areas. It was water in our neighborhoods. And this water was up to it had 95 and 476 roads all the way to the gills flooded. People was literally jumping off of the top of other streets into the water that led to highways. So that right there was crazy. It was scary to see that.
Yeah.
That
What,
our
y'all had a tornado to come through?
hurricane,
A hurricane
Hurricane.
last
Oh,
year. Yeah.
a
Yeah.
yeah,
hurricane.
It hit
came.
us pretty bad.
We got two rivers that run through the city of Philadelphia. We got the Schuylkill River and we got the Delaware River, which are really not too far apart from each other. And they both overspilled their banks and just put water in places that water typically is not being seen and shouldn't go. So we know firsthand here what that looks like. But damn, just think about living in Florida and they having that all the time.
Right.
Right.
Threat of a hurricane all the time. Living in those coastal areas, the Floridas, the Mississippis, the Louisianas, and the Texases, and places that always seems to always have a threat. There's another storm brewing out there in the Atlantic right now. They're saying that possibly could swing its way towards the Galveston, Texas area, or even up the East Coast back towards the Charleston, South Carolina area or further. So we just got to be We got to be prayed up and cautious. When they say get out, get out.
Yeah.
We want to
You
stay
know,
around.
Ebony was telling me a friend of hers had just moved to Florida about 6 months ago. She's packing up to leave. She said that was her first hurricane and her last in
Wow.
Florida. Yeah.
Wow.
So she's packing up to move her family back to wherever they came from.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
So that's our icebreaker question today. Any last words on our icebreaker before we move on to our next topic?
No, just continue prayers for everybody for the rebuild because it's going to take a lot. Yeah, that rebuild is going to take a lot for some of those cities.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Also, we can't forget about Puerto Rico, which is a part of us too here. You know, we glaze over Puerto Rico a lot, but Puerto Rico was actually a part of us, their family. That's a part of the United States. It's the United States territory. And the week before Ian hit Florida, I'm going to say tornado, a hurricane hit Puerto Rico, left massive. So let's pray for the people of not just Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and those that are affected by this storm here, but also the great people of Puerto Rico, because they have an extensive cleanup. An extensive cleanup. A lot of lives were lost, a lot of destruction because that storm took to an island and put it under a little bit. So let's pray for them as well. All right.
Prayer.
So as you can see, we are dripped up and dripped out in our pink this month. We wanted to start the month off strong. We wanted to start it off by honoring breast cancer awareness. I know a lot of us have many stories when it comes to breast cancer. Knowing someone who has suffered from it, knowing someone who has survived it, knowing someone who has lost their lives with it, and just harrowing stories of it almost could have been me, or I had to go back for a test because they didn't know what it was. Um, one thing is certain, and what is it? One for sure, two for certain. Early detection is always key. And I'm gonna let y'all ladies take it from here because y'all are the experts with the tatas. So
Yes, as Nell
let's share
said,
some
Yeah.
about
is
breast cancer. And we all got
ladies,
somebody who has it, but do you have any?
Yeah.
right.
Mm.
Ladies, you know, as we explore our bodies, and you can't tell me that you don't sit up there and explore your body. As we explore our bodies, we need to explore and check for things that are not supposed to be there. Um, I will say I have been lackadaisy in that area myself as far as self examination go. But we must get ourselves in for our yearly mammogram. Some ladies have to go every 2 years, every 3 years, whatever is recommended for you. Or if you feel like you may find something there that don't quite belong there. I myself have fibros in mine, so I have to go a little bit more often than other women. I have to go once yearly just to make sure that fibroids are remaining fibroids. So, ladies, if you have not gone for your mammogram, get yourselves on in there, do your own self-examination. Have your man to feel around and check. You
Mhm.
know, that's something they would enjoy doing. Have them to
Mhm.
feel, but self breast exam, early detection is key.
Yes, absolutely. And for sure. And Katie, that you made some great points just in regards to the yearly mammograms, the self-checking. And I know that, time can get away from us sometimes. I'm guilty of it, but it's important to make sure you stay on schedule. If you're not on schedule, try to get on schedule, because time can go by, a month or two can go by, and oh, I'm too busy to get in, or I can't get an appointment, or this, that. Just make sure that if you're not on schedule, to get on schedule. I know so many people who just let life take them away from, just the simple things such as scheduling that test. And then 2-3 years later they're diagnosed, and it's into stage 2, stage 3. Early detection, as we've stated many times before, in many areas of cancer, etc. Early detection is the best detection. So if you're not on schedule, get on schedule. Make that time to go ahead and schedule those tests. Do those self examinations in the shower, or laying down in the bed, or like Katie said, get your man to fill on you. Just make sure that everything is okay. So important to stay on top of that stuff.
Absolutely. Just to piggyback off of the male aspect of it is not only are females exposed to breast cancer, but also as men are as well. So don't think this is just a female disease. Don't think this is just relegated to having breast, because we all have breast, right? Um, Fellas, make sure you check yourself as well. Make sure you're up on your game as well when you're going to get your physicals. Make sure you're going to get your prostate exam, making sure you're doing a full exam of your body, because that could be the early detection that's needed to catch these things in the beginning. Also, Katie and Ish also spoke on this, where we come into play of knowing our women's bodies, right? We hopefully we're touching them quite often, and we're being able to feel around and knowing, where their spots are, and not just where their spots are, but also keeping a keen eye and a keen watch on their health the same way they do ours. When you're feeling around on those breasts, or sucking on those breasts, or doing whatever you do to those things, make sure, if you feel something out of place that wasn't there the last time you felt it, or you did those activities, you point that out to her. And that could be the key, because sometimes she might not feel it, or she might not have checked that week, but you have, where you're being a little aggressive and you feel something because you're being a little bit more aggressive than she is, right? And then also making sure the support system is there. You know what I mean? There's nothing like being a supportive partner when they're going to have these mammograms, when they're going through these self checks, just being there and just being supportive, letting them know that everything is going to be all right. You're here for them. By chance, something happens and they get the phone call saying, "Hey, we found something." Just being that shoulder to lean on, and that person that's going to be there through thick and thin, because they're going to need that too. It's so important. Also, a little funny, because I know this is a tough subject, right? This is a tough subject. Ladies, when y'all picking up those roses, the pleasure down there, make sure y'all picking up those fingers and touching up there, right? Because we take for granted our bodies. We put it off and say, "Oh, that's just a scar. Oh, I had that since I was a youth." But those things that may have been benign, or just little scar tissues or whatever, could turn out to be something much more later in life. So don't put something off just because it's been there for forever. Get them checked out. Go regularly. If you got to go twice a year, go twice a year. If it's going to be the thing that saves your life.
So
And
true.
I also like to point out, along with Breast Cancer Month, that is going to be observed the entire month of October. But tomorrow is going to mark one day of awareness for bullying. They're asking the students to wear blue. So tomorrow, y'all wear blue, and that is in recognition of stopping the bullying all around. So again, tomorrow, October the 3rd, is in observance of Bullying Day. So wear blue for that.
Absolutely. While we're here on this topic of breast cancer and breast cancer awareness. Do y'all have any stories of heroism or anybody that you knew who was affected by this? Because stories stories bring back memories, but also too, we highlight the survivors. We memorialize the ones that lost their lives because those stories, helps us to recant those great memories that we may have had with someone. So let's share a story because it may help somebody else be able to go out there and say, you know what, I'm gonna stop being scared. I'm gonna stop being nervous, and I'm gonna go get them checked because I was just, I feared the unknown.
Mhm. Well, I knew a couple of ladies that found their own. One lady has perished, unfortunately, since then, but she did find it early. And the other one, hers was very early. She found it, and she is, I think, is right at 6 years cancer free right now. So her results have been excellent. Um, I mean, like you say, it brings back memories that you don't want to think about. Karen Lombardi, she was very special to me. She found her own cancer, and like I said, it was early detection, and they got it wiped out. And her cancer unfortunately returned 6 years, 9 months out, and it returned full force. So that's not to say that it wasn't meant to happen. And for a long time, I was angry about it. I cannot lie because it snatched her away so early. But when it came back, she was brave about it. Not once did she show fear. And just watching her bravery through her ordeal, it still gave me inspiration through watching her fight what she had to fight. So it's not pretty to look at when we have people that go through it, but it do make you have to look at one day that may be you. And I just pray that I can be as strong as she was, should I have to face that issue.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. I never had someone directly tied to me per se, but my sister's best friend, um, we all watched her go through many bouts. She was diagnosed with, I believe, stage 3 breast cancer. I'm going to say it's been about 9 years. She's had a double mastectomy, and it just continued to attack her body. It touched her brain. It just continued to rise up. Those Fortunately, she is a survivor. She is cancer free at the moment. And I believe that was just as of last year because she was on her third bout of intense radiation. And, just seeing her survival, um, seeing her wanting to survive, seeing her fight, seeing her pushing through, seeing her family, go through this with her, and seeing my sister having to watch her best friend go through this. It affected me in many ways, not directly but indirectly, because it gets you to thinking about your own health at times, or those really close to you and your loved ones and their health. um, it's definitely not an easy thing to see, not an easy thing to have to experience with a loved one. And so it's so important that we continue to um, get tested.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. I know we have stories for days. We know people. Just to piggyback off of Laura Robinson's comment is, and my heartfelt prayers goes out to. She lost her mother due to breast cancer. She still was in her 20s, so
Mm.
I'm sure Laura had to be young as well. So you losing your mom when she's in her 20s. You're a young child. Now you have to go through life without. Um, so It's tragic. So that's why we want to always bring awareness to disability and disease, and always shed light on prevention, early detection, and also things that we can do to be supportive, right? And then also highlight our survivors and also those that have lost their lives. So throughout this whole month, this is not just a one show. This is going to be a whole month-long special where breast cancer awareness is going to get our attention. Yeah, we will have individuals from our family, the Uncensored Minds family, come on and share their stories. We have individuals who are part of our families, bit our Friday Night Light family, as Katie is shining so brightly with. We have a young lady that's in our group, Natasha, who's not only a breast cancer survivor, also a double mastectomy was done. But she also is an author. She also has produced information telling her story to help somebody else. We got stories like that. We got our own Marilyn, who's always on the show, versus, be it our Tell May Kick show, or even here at Uncensored Minds, who is a breast cancer survivor. And we're going to hear from her on one of these shows this month. So we got so much for you this month in regards to breast cancer awareness that is going to pull at our heartstrings, but it's also going to make us smile as well and be much more cognizant of what's going on in and around our bodies. All right? Any final words on this before we move on?
Get checked.
Get checked.
Go get
checked.
Absolutely. Go get checked. Let's move it right on along. Got our next topic. The 5 stages of anger. And I know y'all probably say, no, this is right up your alley, brother. Y'all probably seen the 18 stages last week. But we had this discussion on Thursday, and Ish brought up this thing that fits me, you, us, all of us, fits into our lives so much. Anger. How it can be a detriment, deterrent, and how it affects our lives. So we let Ish open it up.
Yeah, so as Nell said, on Thursdays, we come together and we have our decisions, right? Which one we relate to more? Which one is us more, right? And the love languages. Well, on Thursday, we discussed the 5 stages of anger, right? Anger languages. Which one do you adapt to more? Which one is more like what you relate to? And it's important in understanding and knowing which one you relate to more, because then you can effectively deal with it. You can effectively deal through it. Your partner, identifying with yourself and understanding your 5 stages of anger, or what anger stage you apply to more. Your partner can then help, and you guys can work through things a little bit better. So we'll start with the first one is righteous, meaning I'm right and you're wrong. Then we have indignation. How could you do that to me? Like, why would you do that to me? Then we have retribution. You're going to get that back. I'm going to get my lick back. You're going to get that back, right? Then we got distraction. No, that wasn't what you saw. That's not what you, that wasn't it. And the last one is justification. Like, that's what you get. That's what you get. You had it coming. So which one of the 5 stages do you guys feel is more like you? Because I had to think about this long and hard to know which one I apply, which one applied to me more. So what do you guys think? Which one are you relating to more?
Can you say that list again?
Yep. We had the righteous, indignation, retribution, distraction, and justification. So the righteous one again is I'm right, you're wrong. Like I'm right. Indignation. How could you do that to me? Like, why would you do that to me? Retribution. You gonna pay for that. I'm gonna get my lick back. Distraction. No, that wasn't what you saw. You didn't see that. It wasn't that. It was this, but not that. And justification, you had it coming. That's what you get.
Well, I will go on and admit mine. Mine is the righteous. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
mine is the righteous. I have to watch myself on that. I have to learn that my way isn't always the right way, even though I feel it's the right way. I have to realize that it's not right for everyone. So I would have to say that that would probably be closest to me.
Okay. What about you now?
I would say justification, and the reason why I say justification is because not just not just for the I want to get my lick back or this is what it is. It's just having to overly explain yourself, um, and going into details with that, um, because that lends itself to so many different levels of communication, which could lead to why we get angry, right? Because we're trying to justify or explain ourselves or answer a question that was posed to us. And if those things are getting cut off, if they're not being digested the way that we think they are supposed to be digested, or we just think that the person is just being um, is not responding the way we want, we take it to that, oh shit, I gotta get angry, I gotta get loud, I gotta get whatever. So again, a number of different things adds to our anger. All of those things pop at times we display them. So it's not just a one thing or this is always what it is. It's a combination of all of them, all five, right? Because we always have to just be justifiable. We justify our points, right? That's the first thing that we do. The first time somebody comes to us with something, we're trying to justify the reason why we did this or the reason why we said that, right? And and within that justification, we can get, depending on our personalities, we can get a little bit overly aggressive at times, and all the other things like that. So I'm gonna say for me, it's justification, and
Mm-hmm.
depending on the scenario, the situation, it could actually be all five of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had two actually. Indignation. That is so me. Like I'm sweet as pie. Like, how could you ever do that to me? Like, why would you do that to me? Like that that is me. And then I had to like kind of break it down for myself. Like, again, everybody does things for themselves. It's not always a reflection of you and because of you. So indignation, I think that's my first go-to. And then when I realistically break things down, I can understand that people don't operate based off of you. You know what I mean? They operate for themselves and you just so happen to be in the path of it. You know what I mean? So then I kind of go from indignation to justification. So yeah, justification is another one for me too. Definitely that. So
Not to kind of get off his topic, but this is still on topic right here with the anger. Going to these different classes that I'm going to for anger management, and also just counseling, just to get in front of a number of different issues, that plagues my everyday life. Right. Somebody in the group, we talked on the side, and they was like, "Why don't you?" One of the best courses that you can actually do on your own as homework is actually go on YouTube and just pull up AA meetings. And I looked kind of strange, and I was like, well, why AA? I don't have an addiction. They say they said you kind of do have. We all have an addiction if we're addicted to the patterns of what anger looks like. If we're addicted to whatever that behavior may be, the reason why I'm telling you this is because they live in their truth. They have to live in their truth and start the meeting off with, "Hey, I'm Darnell. I'm an alcoholic. Hey, I'm Darnell. I abuse drugs, or I am whatever." Right? When you look at those things, you take accountability. And basically what they were saying was, look within yourself and stop making excuses for why you're doing it, and own up to the fact that you have this problem. And the moment you accept that problem is the moment and the steps to helping you get better, or to get in front of it, or to see exactly what's triggering you to run to that drug and or run to those anger issues, or this exhibit those things that will have you up in arms.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting that you said that, Nell, because my coworker, who is actually, and I know she watches the show, and I know that she wouldn't mind me sharing her story, but she is an ex-heroin addict who frequents AA meetings. And I asked her, I said, well, why do you go to AA meetings instead of, you know, your drug meetings? Like, and she says, because the AA principles are much more founded and grounded. And they are principles to that you can live by no matter what affliction you're dealing with. And I thought that was interesting. And it's interesting that you said the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The first step in understanding anything, or not understanding, I would say the first step in change is understanding your trip. You understand your trip, you know you're going to understand ways that you may detour,
Mm-hmm.
or you may get it straight there, and things are going to happen, and you have to understand that. So accountability is always key when we're dealing with these type of things that take us in on emotional roller coasters, such as anger.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What's up,
Oh, well,
T?
hey, you look nice in your pink, by the way, Keith. Thank you.
Yes, you do.
Y'all, I have to tell y'all, he does not like wearing pink. But for the Tata, he said he was going to do it. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you, Keith.
Y'all
So,
know,
T, what anger do you identify with?
y'all know I'm a big supporter of the Tiggle Biddy, so only for that reason alone, I'll wear the pink for y'all tonight. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure everybody like and share the video. Welcome to the conversation. Did anybody see my word of the day today?
Yes, I did. Heedful.
So can you explain to the people the definition and get your minds out the gutter? First of all, get your minds out the gutter. Can you explain to the people the definition of this?
um, Being mindful, being attentive, paying attention. Right? What did I kind of get it right?
It's basically paying attention and then moving accordingly. So it's a double, it's a seeing, an awareness, and then an action. So it's both of those combined. It's heedful.
Okay. Right. Nice word. I like that word.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm here to educate the people. Man. I'm here to educate. But as far as anger, I think I experienced every part of anger in the last couple of days. It's because people been trying to invade my brain with the dumb shit, and I just don't have time. So it's like, I experienced every stage of anger. I just like learn how to manage it. I guess I know how to manage it. So like even like my mom was calling me while I was on my way to work. And normally when I'm on my way to work, I like to I'll be normally watching an interview or listening to certain podcasts or whatever. So my mom's blowing up my phone, right? And she says, this movie is playing on my Alexa and it won't cut off. And I was like, I'm on my way to work, right? And she's like, yeah, but it won't cut off. And I was like, Mom, just unplug it. The fuck is going on, people? These are simple things. Like I don't be understanding these simple things that people just don't equate. Like
I
just
know.
fucking unplug
Because
this
he's
shit.
thinking like you at the time, T. That's all.
It's
Right.
not about
Yeah.
thinking like me. It's about common fucking sense,
Well,
people.
the older that they get, see,
Jesus
the
Christ.
less sharp they are sometimes. And that's not sharp in like all areas, but some of the electronic things,
I know
definitely.
I
And
know
that's
it's
my mom.
I know it's Mercury retrograde, but I just want to say that before we even move on, y'all women are disturbing my brain. Let's go.
Good.
Y'all are really
Good.
disturbing my brain with y'all bullshit. I need y'all to get it together.
We just keep your brain
Good.
open. That's all. We just
I
keep it
need y'all to
working.
get it together, man. I need y'all to get it together. But
We
yeah,
just keep your brain occupied.
I go through all 5 of those stages, but I learned how to manage that at an early age, because other than that, I would have been killed like 4 or 5 people by now. So yeah, you gotta learn how to manage your anger. That's all it is. Control your emotions, people. Control your emotions. What's up? Where we at?
Where we at?
Where we at? What's up, people?
I mean, listen, sometimes it's difficult to control those emotions all the time. So I guess that's just something that needs to be mastered. And like feeling like I've attempted to master that, I am not 100% sure that I am 100% capable of mastering that. So I feel like, you got to find what works for you in a sense, and talking to people, working through things. Some of those things that Nell was mentioning, just like certain exercises and things that can help you and assist you through those angers. Because if you try to do it by yourself, sometimes that's not always possible when you try to do it by yourself. So implementing some, exercises or group talks or therapy and things like that can, help you get through.
No, did they tell you about like breathing exercises?
Yeah, like tell you to inhale and exhale. Take a step back and remove yourself from the situation. A number of different things that's going to hopefully get you back to your square, or at least will allow you to calm down. And the main thing is always just thinking before you react. Sometimes just releasing yourself from that particular situation, and live to see another day is always, what's being reinforced at all times.
Mm-hmm.
That was going to be my next question for y'all. How do you handle getting angry? I myself am not saying it's the right way, but I will walk away, because I know if I don't walk away, I could do or say some things that I would feel bad about later.
Mm-hmm.
So how do y'all normally handle your anger situation if you've taken them?
Yeah, I'm with the smoke sometimes. It depends on how it comes. If I'm triggered, I'll feed right into it and I'm with the shits. But I feel like that um once I like reel myself in, and once I like dig myself a little bit, I'll like attempt to calm down. But the problem for me is that if that other individual is not calming down with me, then I am not going to remain calm. So, I got to master maybe the art of walking away, which I haven't mastered yet.
Right. I've mastered that
For
art.
me, it's I think my conscience kicks in at some point.
I don't have no patience. Go ahead, Nell. I hear you.
I think my conscience kicks in at some point, and I could be at the height of my anger, or not even. I haven't reached the height, and that's scary, because people that have come in contact with me and have come in contact with anger say, "Yo, bro, you gotta chill. It's out of control." And I know deep down inside that's just the surface level of it. I haven't even dug deep in, and I'm not using that that's not a badge of honor for me. By no means am I saying, yo, that's dope, that's decent, or I'm glorifying that, because I'm not. But I know it can get even more intense, and that scares me, because that intensity could lead me down a path that I'm not built for. And when I say I'm not built for, I ain't built. I ain't trying to die. I ain't trying to go to jail. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to throw away what I worked so hard to get. That's what I'm not built for that. I ain't even going to play like I am. You know what I mean? So in order to keep that at bay, or get in front of it, that's why you go get the help. That's why you just remove yourself from the situation, and you take deep breaths. And You cognizant of where somebody's trying to take you. I think too, that's another step that's learned is for a minute, you gotta you gotta cycle your own brain, right?
Right.
And understand that this person may be trying to take you off of your square for whatever reason, to deflect from what's going on for real, or to get you to be so angry that the point's missed, or to get you just to go into this enragement so they can say, I told you so, or I got you. But you have to be cognizant of that within yourself and control that. And you control that by just hopefully stepping back and or realizing I need to live to see another day. I'm a chill.
I don't know, man. Ever since I was a little kid, my dad used to just sit me down and be like, "Calm down." Like, so ever since I've been a little kid, I already know, how to handle that because my dad would sit me down and be like, and I couldn't move. Like he would hold me there, like physically hold me there, and be like, "Calm down." So ever since then, like I know how to control that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like that's true too. Like you do kind of learn some of, you know what I mean, some of those techniques and things like when you're younger. Like for me, my mom was a firecracker and she had a mouth on her. So when she was giving the business, I was sucking it up. And so it kind of like attached to me the older that I got. And again, that's like Nell said, that's not a badge of honor, but that's just like exactly how it was. Like I mimicked her so much that, you know what I mean, I picked up some of that bad language, that attitude that I'm going to give you the business if you want the business, like, you know what I mean. So I think in my older years I've learned to like kind of pull back on it a lot, but it's still there if triggered, like, you know what I mean. So I think I'm gonna have to learn not to allow the triggers to really get to me to the point where, you know what I mean, it's really affecting how I move.
I think it's a process where you learn in that somebody's purposely pushing your triggers. Like you have to learn that they're purposely doing that. And once you learn that, then you can get a little bit more control of it.
Right.
You already know what they're trying to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what? I think a lot of us got to stop with the I'm with the smoke shit.
Right.
Yes.
We invite that. We invite
Right.
that. We invite
Right. You're right.
that energy towards us.
Mm-hmm.
We're not really with the smoke. And that's what and you always hear me say, stop saying y'all outside. Y'all ain't really outside because being outside means something. When y'all say y'all with the smoke, y'all with whatever. If somebody ran up on you with a gun, a knife, or they want to fight, I'm sure you ain't with that.
Right.
Y'all might say y'all with that shit because it sounds good to say, or you gotta puff your chest out. But in the grand scheme of things, when them activities is getting active, we cop it please. Or some of us out here ready to lose it all. But then we ain't really wanting to lose it all. You know what I mean? And at the end of the fight, we all cut up, we all stabbed up, we shot, we're in the hospital room, we deformed, we upset, we embarrassed, we done did something that we didn't want to do. So it just take that couple seconds. And even if the seconds are ticking, it takes a couple minutes to get yourself back in order. Because it could be the detriment. It could be the difference between life, death, and or positive, negative. So we got to start to change the languages that we use. We got to start changing the behaviors that we exhibit. We got to start.
What I was saying, Sarah, I understand that people are stupid.
Right. Right.
We got to start feed. We got to stop feeding into the ideologies that is put out here in the public that I'm with the shit. Are you really with the shit, or it sounds good to say?
Right. Are you with the shit just in this little bubble with the shit, or are you really with the shits? Right.
What tell us when we was young? They told us a lot of things, but a number of things that we can recollect from our childhood is somebody out here always better than you. It's somebody out here bigger and better. You think you big badass? It's somebody out here that's a little tougher than you, that's with it, and they don't care. $150 to the face. I seen somebody get shot right there, right on the spot, just cause.
And like T say, a lot of times people will go there with you because they know that they can pull your trigger. And when they know what they can do to pull your triggers, that's what they're going to do. That's one thing I've always said. I put up a poker face because you're never gonna know when you get next to me. I'm not gonna give you that satisfaction. Now, one of the hardest things that I do is walk away. I've walked away from a lot of people who I wanted to give the smoke to. But in the end, I felt better because I did walk off, because I know had I released that smoke, maybe I would have gotten lost in the smoke. But even if I had not gotten lost in the smoke, I wouldn't have felt good once the smoke had cleared because they would have brought me to that level. So you just have to try not to let people bring you down to their level.
Right.
An angry person is going to release angry energy.
All right, so I do have some smoke and ideology, but before we move on, let us know
Also,
it.
one last point,
But,
because we got to take accountability for our actions when we interacting with people. We got to check our energies too. We can't say dot dot dot, but we be the cause of somebody else's anger or somebody else's enragement. We got to chill on it. We got to stop bringing that. That, you know what I mean. At the end of the day, if you're not for it, then don't bring it. You know what I mean? Don't be the dog that's out there barking but no bite, because that shit too can cause friendships to dissolve. That could fuck up relationships. That could kill business opportunities. That could put a strain on a number of different things. More importantly, blessings that we are trying to receive from God, right? Because if we're enticing other individuals, we poking people, that too is a negative connotation out there in our own lives, right? We can't be out here starting fires and running away from them and letting somebody and making somebody else put those fires out. We got to be cognizant of our attitudes as well as the energy that we put out there and the energy that we receive.
For sure.
any last words, ladies, before I bring? Because I'm bringing the smoke to y'all, so I just want to let y'all know ahead of time. I'm bringing the smoke to y'all. So, do y'all have any last words?
See, now that's what I mean when I say I'm with the shits.
I
mean, that's because it's in this forum now. I'm not with all the shits, as you would say, but I'm with the shits in this forum, this here forum.
Okay. I learned my lesson.
I'm ready.
No. I need you to fall back on this.
I am.
I need you.
I'm falling all the way back.
Listen. This means, KD. This means that it's bad. This means that it's bad.
It's not that bad. I just want to.
Audience, let me tell y'all now. If y'all see KD, y'all see Nell's shirt, right? If KD dismiss herself, it's by KD. Getting away so it get too hot. That's all.
Why y'all afraid though? Like, why y'all?
Because you like I'm bringing the shit.
Not afraid.
All right, come on, we ready.
It's just conversation. Like, it's just
what you got.
Okay. All right. No, I need you to sit this one out.
Oh, I'm out.
Unless the ladies, have a question for you.
I'm gonna smoke.
But I want to start this off by saying, we talked about this a little bit on Thursday, and I need you ladies in the chat to also help these two beautiful ladies below me with these answers. Wait a fucking minute now. I didn't say
no, that wasn't the invitation.
I didn't use step off. I need you to be present.
Oh, all right.
I need you to be present.
I was about to throw in the towel.
No, I need you to be present for these answers that they.
Oh, all right, because I was about to throw in the towel.
Because this is some shit that we might need to learn. They might say some shit that we might need to learn. So I need you to be present, to listen and just in case they have questions. So, ladies, I just need to know, what are these bylaws and gentleman rules that y'all have created, and who gave y'all the authority to determine a man's manhood? I'm going to roll the ball out, and y'all ladies have a ball.
So I will start.
Hold on. Before y'all speak, I'm not going to rebuttal and say that I'm not going to judge your womanhood if you don't clean. I'm not going to judge your womanhood if you don't suck dick. I'm not going to judge your womanhood if you don't cook. This is just for y'all to go ahead and throw it out there and say the things that y'all need to say. Y'all have the floor.
Go ahead, KD. You go first.
So I think you're asking, where did our bylaws come from as to what negates a gentleman? I think that goes back to our grandmothers when they tell us, make sure that you're being treated like this and that. Now, mind you, they weren't being treated like that. So I think the way they wanted to be treated, that's the way they taught us to make sure we are being treated. Now, that happened, by the way, but I think that's where it comes from as far as like the unwritten rules as to what we negate
I'm
a
eating my food.
gentleman
I need
doing.
to. I'm eating my food, but I'm listening. I need to hear it. And make sure y'all have y'all, run down all the shits. If it's pumping gas, if it's putting out the trash, I need y'all to run down all the shits. Go ahead.
Well, I think
Okay.
when we were raised, right, KD, piggybacking off of what you were saying, like I think when we were raised by the women, the head of our households or the head of our families, they taught us those that those things that a man should do, whether it be, be a provider, take out the trash, put food on the table, pump the gas, open the doors, the chivalry, all of the things that we anticipate for a man to do. Those are the things that we were taught by our mothers, our grandmothers, our great grandmothers, our aunts. And it just kind of sticks.
All
And
right.
as time evolves, obviously it's changing, but some of those things are still in our brains as
All right.
such.
I just want to intertwine for a quick. Y'all putting out to sleep. I just want to intertwine for a quick second to ask a question because I've heard both of y'all say this and other women say this at some time. So if a man doesn't do one of these acts, are you judging his manhood? Is he not a man? Is he not a gentleman? Are you judging his manhood? What's going on?
Well, I
I
think it
would say
depends
judging
on
the
when it comes.
manhood.
Right, right.
Yeah, not judging the manhood, just
Mhm.
um if they are gentlemen or not. I mean, but no, we definitely don't judge
That's
the
what I
man.
mean. Those are kind of intertwined, okay? Those are kind of intertwined.
You think they are?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I kind
Okay,
of
'cause
think
there's
it.
not many gentlemen around these days, if that's the case.
That's what I'm at. That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking. So how do you determine if somebody's a gentleman? And if I don't hold the door open for you,
You saying
am I not
time
a
that
gentleman?
Well, I mean, that's what I was getting ready to say too. I think it's the premise of which it comes from. Like, in what space and energy does it come from? I think that is ultimately like how we can decipher a genuine man who has, who practices being a gentleman, who knows how to, treat a woman, who knows how to behave in the presence of a woman, who knows what to do, open her door, etc. Versus an individual who just is not from that cloth. So I think it's all based upon the energy that is coming from before we can determine, okay, that's a gentleman or that's a, like I say, fuck nigga.
But that's my example, Ish. Just like last week when Katie was saying because the boy didn't pump the gas, he's not a fucking gentleman. You don't know him to say that he's not a gentleman just because that one act you saw him, he didn't want to pump the gas. Does that automatically equate him to not being a gentleman?
well, that act in itself equated him in our minds that he was not a gentleman. So we would presume if he was not a gentleman in that area. Now we would presume because, like you say, we don't know him.
All
We
right,
don't know what the situation was.
all right.
But just looking at it from our side, just that little part, what we saw, I'm quite sure. I know me myself. I saw him as not being a gentleman. And again, I know nothing about him at all. He could have been the perfect gentleman for
That's what I
all
mean.
I know. But because of that one act, I did view him as not being a gentleman.
But is
Yeah.
that not an assumption though?
It's just, yeah, it is. It's an
And
assumption.
and what do they say about assumptions?
Yeah, you make an ass out of yourself. But
I
But
mean, I'm just asking.
but
I
here,
saw, but that act alone, like I said, showed him, portrayed him as not being a gentleman.
But I think, and I think too, that would have been a correct assumption, honestly, because here, for example, we have two gentlemen on our panel, one who openly says that he is ailed, with his MS, and he is in pain a lot of the time, or he is, could be tired or under the weather or not feeling well.
Hold
But
on.
I bet if he was in a car with a young lady, or his mother or whatever, tired, sick, ailed, whatever, he would get out and he would pump the gas. Why? Because he is a gentleman.
But-
Same for you, T. Your 10
that's
jobs
what
as
I'm
a
saying.
Jamaican.
That's what I'm saying. That's the point that I want to debate, because there are times when I don't fucking feel like being a gentleman. So does that make me not a gentleman?
But I don't believe that. I do not believe
No,
that.
I'm
Not
telling
for
you
one.
firsthand.
I do not believe
There
that.
are times where I could give a fuck.
I believe it.
You
I
believe?
I wholeheartedly
So
believe
does
it.
that mean I'm not a gentleman? Like I don't understand. Like I need to know I need y'all to run down this list. So is it pumping gas? Is it putting out the trash? Is it holding it? What are all these fucking things? I need the
All
whole.
of the above. All of the
All
above.
of the above. You said it.
Tell
You
me
said
all of it.
it.
I need all of it. I need all of it.
Opening the doors, right?
Mhm.
Pumping the gas, taking out the trash, carrying heavy things, doing, household things around the house that are something that a woman might not be able to do in her strength. You know what I mean? Just things that a man, like, I don't know, it's so unspoken. It's so
That's what I'm saying. Y'all have this whole imaginary book that we can't even see or read, but y'all
no, but
pulling shit out. Y'all pulling shit out when y'all deem necessary.
all right, but let me ask y'all this.
Hold on, East. So Nell, has there ever been a time when a female, whether you are young or old, has tried to judge your manhood just because of a specific thing that you didn't feel like doing or wanting to do, or you just went like I could pay for somebody to do that? Has that ever happened?
Yeah, just even piggybacking off of the anger thing, or quick tempered. You get a negative connotation that, oh, you a little boy, or you ain't shit, or you ain't worthy, or you not no man, you ain't no real man because you got emotions. And the moment we display emotions, it seems like that gets us labeled.
Right.
And it takes us out of our true character. Everybody displays their thing differently.
All right. No, I want to stay right there because I need to ask these women while they're sitting right here. Who gave y'all the authority to judge a man's manhood?
Our grandmothers and our four grandmothers. So like I say, it's just an unwritten rule, T. I mean, you can't tell me that y'all don't have an unwritten rule about certain things about women.
No, we don't.
Because that's what I was going to ask a little bit back. I was going to say, like,
No,
when you guys were taught,
I just said, if you don't do a certain thing that's deemed ladylike or however they say it, if you don't cook or you don't clean, I'm not going to say you're less of a woman. But if we do some of these things that y'all say, y'all look at men as they're less of a man, right?
Well, we don't stop messing
it
with you.
depends on the premise. Yeah.
I'm not understanding.
You can't say that y'all don't have that thought. Maybe you don't have that thought, but all men, some men do have that thought where if you can't cook for me, you are not a woman.
Whoever said that?
But that's what I was going to ask.
I've never heard a man in my life ever say that.
When you guys were taught,
have you ever heard a man say to a woman, "If you don't know how to cook, you're not a real woman"? Never heard that.
Well, in the South, it is good.
All right. When you guys were taught, like, what were you taught a man should do? What were you taught a woman should do?
I was taught to be self-sufficient. My mom didn't raise me with. My mom didn't say, "I'm teaching you how to cook," because if she's not a woman, if she don't know how to cook, she taught me how to cook to sustain my life.
Right.
She taught me how to wash and clean clothes and clean the house and balance the checkbook and have finances in order and a number of different things that's domesticated, because I have to still be able to survive if I have a woman or not. And my woman that comes into my life ain't no short of a woman, because if she don't have those qualities, right? So my mom didn't instill in me, oh, if this woman don't do this, son, she ain't shit. No, she never said that. I never heard that from my mom or my dad. It was just, I'm teaching you how to do these things because you have to survive. You have to be able to survive on your own. If you don't, how can you be anything to yourself?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And
We wasn't
as
raised.
mothers, we did that. I mean, I did that with my son. My mom did that with my brother. You know, they had to learn to cook. They had to learn to wash, because just like Nell said, his mother told him, that's what I told my son exactly. You
All right,
need to
but
be
knowing that, right? And this is a question: knowing that and being able to instill that into your son, why haven't we threw those old ideologies out the window and said that don't work here? Because I'm now teaching my offspring differently. So I don't even have to employ those things or even think like that when I come in contact with somebody that may look a certain way or be showing me a certain way in front of me. Why do we continue to keep those thought patterns in our mind, but we're teaching our offspring differently? How are we benefiting from that?
That is true.
Yeah,
That is
that's true.
true.
I get it. I get it. But, we, and even on Thursday when we talked about it, and T, I think you posed the question like, well, if somebody, if he didn't take out the trash and you had to do it, how would you feel? And I think we, and I expressed that, okay, no, I wouldn't be upset at him, or no, it wouldn't be something that I would even, mention to him, but I would feel some kind of way if I had to walk outside. Remember, I said that, like, about if somebody saw me taking out the trash. And I just feel like, it's not necessarily taken away from him being a gentleman or anything like that. I just think it's, just the way that the things that were instilled as a young woman, you know what I mean? And some of those things just don't leave.
So I have a question too, because don't certain situations lend itself for us to shut down, right? You having a conversation with your mate and his voice elevated. What's the first thing y'all going to do? Shut down, right? Conversation over. For the most part, you're going to shut down. You're going to become reclusive. You're going to stop. Because Katie, you just said when smoke is brought your way, you tend to walk away from it. You shut down, right? Who's to say that Shorty wasn't in his face all day? Right. The moment he got in the car, she called him all kind of fuck niggas and just being real crazy. She pulled up to the gas station. Now she want to record something because she want to show the world what they got going on. He already shut down. I ain't doing nothing. Right. You don't know what could have transpired him getting to that point, right? So we so quick to judge and say somebody is not something based upon information that's given to us, not knowing the whole full thing, right?
That's what I said.
How many of us would feel cheated if we allowed somebody to write a story about us that wasn't true, or to tell our narrative without us even being present to star in that role, right? We would feel some type of way if we said, damn, you don't even know me, you allow somebody else to tell a story about me, and you run with that. That happens to us far too often, and it's not a good feeling, right? So if we allow ourselves if we have those feelings and emotions of, damn, I don't want nobody else telling a story about me without me to somebody else, and they're not being true, then how do we write narratives about somebody else and call somebody else names and use what we see for it to, at that moment, to be a label that's attached to them? We got to stop doing that. That's why I said, in these times that we live in, yes, the older generations help build us. They provided us with structure, right? But a lot of the times, if we go back and we look on grandma, we look at great grandma might have been in the house raising 13 kids all by herself. Right. While dad's at work making a living, grandpa's at work making a living, right? Or let's say grandpa passed away early in our lives and grandma's still there to raise those kids. Her views is going to be different than it is in these times that we live in now. So again, as we said, if we're teaching our children to be self-sufficient, Why can't we look at everything in life as us being self-sufficient and we adding to our partnerships with those qualities? Think how much richer and enhance our relationships will be when we bring everything to the table. Now you got two of everything. Now you're trying to decipher, damn, where am I going to put this at? Because we don't need two couches in a house. All right, I'll put this couch in the living room and I'm going to put this one in the den. Or I'm going to put this one in the man cave. Now we got a great problem because now we don't got to go out and buy it. Because now we got two of everything and we got three of everything. Now we're having a garage sale and we're allowing somebody else to benefit from our benefits. That's when we start to retrain our minds to say working together is more advantageous than trying to uncover somebody's flaws or trying to label them as something less than what they are. Let's get past it, people. Let's get back to the very foundations of what made us, what brought us into these worlds. It's the mother and father that we had that helped create us. We wouldn't be here without that. Regardless if our father left or our mother left or they broke up and disbanded, at some point love was there in order to create us. Why are we escaping these things just to try to one up somebody else or to feel beaten and battered or to even feel like we are at a disadvantage? Everything ain't meant for us. Yes, everything ain't always going to work out how it's supposed to. But if we go into it with a clear mind and an understanding that this could possibly be the one, then outcomes are a lot more better.
I agree. Now, I will say, while I was teaching my son to be self-sufficient, I was also teaching him to be a gentleman with his woman. But again, that's the Southern way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just something that just comes with Southern teaching for some of us, I guess.
Is that really Southern, or is that just teaching somebody to be respectful of their neighbor, or be respectful of anyone other than themselves? That's not just a Southern way. We teach our kids. We get taught, play well with this person, Johnny. Go to school and be nice with Johnny. Share your stuff and don't be mean. That's not a Southern thing. That's just a life thing.
Well, no, I mean, when I say that, yeah, that came naturally, teaching him to be respectful of other kids. But when if he would be with me, because a lot of times it would be him and I alone.
Right.
I have to get out and pump the gas. I would tell him, Alex, when you get your lady, make sure that her car is always gassed up, because the woman shouldn't have to go and gas her own car up if she have a man that loves her.
All right, Katie. I'm glad you said that. I want to stay right there on that point. So, where I come from, my mom ain't telling me none of this shit. So, when you're questioning a guy's manhood or if he's a gentleman, he might not even fucking know none of these things.
Right.
So instead of that, why not just speak to him? Give him the information.
Right. That's it's kind of like placing an expectation on somebody as if they are to know.
Ish, what did we hear? What have we argued to a point till it's deafening on this conversational show? I ain't going to tell nobody how to treat me. Why not?
Motherfucker might not know.
Yeah, because we just assume that you should know that, pumping the gas is the valiant thing to do. I mean, and not that it has to be done. I mean, I understand that it doesn't have to be done. We as women, sure, we can do it by ourselves. We can have that masculine energy and do that. But it is nice to have a gentleman do it for us. That's it.
Understand. Let's stay there real quick.
Hold on. Now, why is that even masculine energy? You're pumping gas.
Let's stay there with it, though.
Well, they listen. I've been told that I have so much masculine energy that it's just too much. That because I can't do all of those things myself. So I guess it's a perspective. I guess it's just how some men view certain things and how women view certain things.
Let's stay there for a minute, because I had this conversation earlier, right? Our culture, our society, our people, the way we're born into this world, we're bored and we're told from day one, go to school, get an education, let that education lead you to a good job, take that good job and build a family, right? Take care of your family, take care of your responsibilities, right?
Hold on now. Hold on now. Y'all need to get out of those old traditions because that shit.
All right, but let's talk about these traditions right here. These are traditions that we hear from birth, right? Go get you a job, go to school, do what you got to do, learn, boom, 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 right? That's instilled in us. Go out, work hard, because if you're not going to get nothing, if you don't work hard for it, nobody's not going to give you nothing. You got to earn it. You got to get it, right? We're taught those things from day one. The one thing that we are not taught, be it in school or even in our own homes, is emotional intelligence, right? We do not understand what it is to be emotionally intelligent for the next person. We know how to go out here. We know that we got to go to school. We got to get a job. If we don't get a job, we can't put no food on the table. We don't got money. We can't do this. We got to go out here and hustle. But we're not being taught emotional intelligence. But when you get with somebody, they're learning you.
Right.
I've been me for 42 years. I have never been Darnell with Ish.
Right.
I haven't been Darnell with Karen. I've been Darnell.
Right.
Right. So when I come to you, I come to you as a clean slate. I come to you as clay that you can mold, that fits in your blocks the right way. Yes, you got to shave some off. You got to remove some pieces, but if it fits, it's going to be magical. So why are we not teaching our mates how to best benefit us? Why am I not showing you how to do me the right way? How am I not teaching you how to cook my food? I got a food allergy. If I let you prepare my food the way you want to, it could kill me. It could make me sick. So I'm going to teach you the ways around that so I can live and still be nourished. So why are we not teaching our mates? Why are we not instilling that emotional intelligence that's going to get me to feel the love that I need to feel, right? We got to get away from, again, I ain't got to teach nobody. Yes, you do.
Yes.
Because I was twins. When you got twins that's born into this world, they are individuals. They might be they came out the same day. They're twins, they're brother and sister, or brother and brother, sister and sister, but yet they're still individuals. Hey. So I'm an individual. So teach me how to love you. Teach me the right ways. And teaching somebody ain't taking away from you or making them a dependent. I'm depending on you to tell me what it is that I need to do to make you happy, and you should want to give me that.
Right.
If you care about yourself. We got to stop with this. Oh, I ain't got to teach nobody nothing. Then if you don't, you know what you get? The same goddamn results. My mother and father been married. My mother and father been together since I was 1. They got married at 11 when I was 11 years old, and they married to this day. You think they still not learning each other? Yes. My mother ain't the same lady that she was 20 years ago. Neither is my dad. But the consistent cycle of love continues to keep them growing within each other and learning each other every day. Teach your mate. It's nothing wrong with it.
And I do agree with you, Nell. With us, I think we are always looking for that Prince Charming. You know, Prince Charming knows everything. And that is unrealistic. It really is unrealistic.
No, Katie, because he could still be a Prince Charming and you can still teach him how to treat you. These both things can exist.
And I do agree with you.
That don't make him a Prince Charming just because he knows to do shit without you saying or asking. It's just who he is. So he can still be a Prince Charming. You could still tell him how to fucking treat you.
I got a question. I got a legitimate.
We are learning as well. We are learning.
I'm gonna let you answer that. I got a question. Why do y'all fight us? We don't. When we say go outside and be careful, why didn't ask? Well, why? We're telling you something that's going to be a benefit. This ain't something that's hurting you. So if you got somebody that's giving you gems that's going to only enhance and improve and be a benefit to your life, why question that? Why just say, you know what? I should employ those things instead of fighting with the person and trying to make a point to why you don't do it. The reason why you don't do it is the reason why you ain't got success.
Hold on now. We need to address Diana real quick, because she said, if you try to tell your mate and he doesn't make the effort, then you have to make a decision. Do I still want to be with this motherfucker or not? It's simple.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because some people are
though?
not receptive to that.
But then too, check this out. How many times, like, let's go back, let's use the school analogy a lot. Let's use the school analogy. The teacher gives us spelling words on Monday.
Yes, that's not the
and we get a test on Friday, right? Let's say you didn't pass that test, or you knew 50 words out of 100, out of 10 words, 5 words out of 10, right? But at some point you got it. Just because you failed that test right there don't mean that you ain't never going to come around, that you ain't never going to learn these things. We learn differently. People learn at their own pace. They don't learn based upon when you want them to learn. They don't move when you want them to move. People move at their own speed. But if you keep instilling and drilling these things into them, at some point they're going to come around and figure it out. And there's going to be, the light bulb goes off and says, ding, I learned it. Now we can move on to something else.
Look, Nell, that breaks down to as simple as, is that part that you're trying to tell him and they're not making the effort, is that part more or less of how you care about him? Do I care about you enough that I don't care that you don't listen when I talk? That's how it goes. Like, if I care about you more than the shit that I'm asking you to do, then I'm gonna still be with you. If I care about that shit more than I care about you, then I'm not gonna be with you anymore. I'm out.
Sometimes it takes hard. Sometimes it takes hard lessons in real life situations for a person to really get it. And when they get it, they realize it and they try to make the necessary adjustments to fix it. Could it be too late? It can. But that don't mean in your next relationship that you gotta stop. That don't mean in your next partnership that you gotta revert back to old ideologies and thinkings that's not going to move the needle forward. It's all about progression in life. We growing, we getting older. We don't see things the same way as we seen them before. So hopefully you're maturing and you are maturing with your mate the same way.
I get it.
What's up, ladies?
I get it.
Because truth be told, there's so much pressure. There's so many connotations to being a man that we hear. But those same pressures aren't put on our female counterparts. You don't hear men saying, oh, you less than a woman if you can't cook a dish like my grandmother.
Right.
I'm not saying you a weak ass woman because you don't get out there and pump the gas or shovel the snow. I'm not saying you because you don't know how to balance a checkbook or you bad with finances that you ain't shit as a woman or you a little girl. I ain't saying because you don't know how to take care of home the way my mother might have did or my grandmother might have did or other women that I've seen in my life do it that you're less than yourself. No. That's disrespectful of me to even put that on you.
That's what I'm saying.
Because you're your own woman.
Hold on now. Do they even understand that that's disrespectful to say to a man? Do y'all as women understand that that's a disrespectful statement to make to a man?
Because man, listen, I mean, I never looked at it as being disrespectful. So, I guess I'm seeing it definitely in a different light tonight to see that it is disrespectful. But I feel like the qualities of a woman or a man and who they are as individuals is important, and it'll reflect in their behaviors. You know what I mean? So no, you might not necessarily think or state that she is less than a woman because she doesn't cook that well, or that she doesn't tend to the house that well, or she might not keep a clean house, or she might not be clean in her hygiene and things of that nature. But those are things that you don't necessarily want. So there's a very thin line to
that's not true. That's not true. Because even though I don't want those things, I'm not going to walk away from her because
I'm not going to
why? Because we going if I gotta stand at the stove and help her cook the food just so I can eat and be able to nourish my body, I'm gonna help her. Or we gonna go out and find something at the restaurant.
Mm.
Or
I need to have
or she can't clean the house the way I'm used to, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy a motherfucking housekeeper. We gonna get a housekeeper because I ain't got the time to do it. She clearly can't do it the way I need it to be. So we figure it out. How come we can figure it out and have these skills to go outside the box and make it work? But if we can't pump gas, or we don't do this, or we don't do that,
I say
we clowns.
Right. No, I say that to say too, like, it's always put like, well, girl, if you ain't cooking for your man, she gonna be cooking for him.
Right.
I'm gonna make sure my man is taken care of.
Telling you that?
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
you know who's telling you that? Your single broke ass girlfriend who got a no good ass nigga laid up beside her, ain't doing nothing for her.
Listen,
so you know what? She gonna hate on your shit.
Listen, hold on, Ish.
Right.
Even when they're doing that, they're not judging you as a woman. They're just saying that he might prefer her over you. They're not saying that you're less than a woman.
But no, and I get it. But do you understand that some of the comments that has been said, like, or that some of the comments that are said, like, can be taken as that?
What them people that's making comments?
No, I'm just saying, just in general.
No, but them people that's making comments ain't laying up beside you, ain't turning the key to get in that same door that you had to turn in to come in that house. It don't matter.
No, what comment is worse than "you're not a real man"? What the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah, it's no comment worse than that.
Comment worse than that?
It's no comment.
Well, fuck, what they saying over there? Ain't no comment worse than that.
So am I gentleman every Thursday if I send a $200 cash app and then on Fridays I take you out to dinner, but the moment I say something wrong or I do something wrong, I'm not a gentleman no more. Like, make it make sense.
Right, but that's like, what I also said, the context of it. Right.
We can't pick and choose when we fuck boys. But when y'all getting what y'all want or things going correct, we the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, no, you're right. And I said it depends on the context it's coming from before I would place that on there. When we're perceiving things and we're receiving things, sometimes it can be received the wrong way and we make that assumption. Not always is it the right assumption, but if you know the individual, if you know your partner, or if you know the person that you're dealing with, then you're going to know from which space and which energy they are delivering from.
I'm just saying, mind your words, because that one right there could get you knocked out. I'm sorry.
Oh, but I didn't never say it. I didn't never say, "Oh, you're not a real man if you don't do those things." It's just a unwritten assumption that all men should know the way to be a gentleman.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. They don't always.
They may not.
But
know.
What happens if you never been taught that?
Right.
What happens if you lived in a home where you never taught that? Maybe what if you never lived in a home where you had a car, and you've been walking and busting it?
Right. No,
you don't know the proper etiquettes. Yeah, you think the person should know, but then too, we get with people who have not been as fortunate as us or seen different things. What the age that we live in with the internet and social medias and travel being so abundant, we have people that or we move to a different area. Let's say, for an example, I moved from Philadelphia to South, where it's a little different, a lot slower, and I get with somebody who don't have the same speed as I had up north, and I'm moving at the speed of light, and they so relegated to their time, or they're so slower than I am. Do I not got to be cognizant of that,
right,
and saying, damn, you know what, I'm dealing with something a little different than I'm used to. I gotta slow walk this a little bit, or I gotta slow down a little bit, or I gotta help bring them up to my speed, so we both are enjoying it at the same time. We're taking them and putting them in my element, so they can see where I'm coming from or where I come from, the same way as now I'm enjoying their element and I'm seeing where they come from, so we both on the same page. That, you know what that's called? It's called teaching.
Right.
I'm teaching this person of where I came from, so they can understand how it is that the reason why I move the way I move.
Right.
Maybe we got to sit each other down and show each other how we were brought up, or the way our thinking is, so we can damn say, you know what, damn, that shit makes sense. Now I see why that person was adamant about this. Now I see why this person did this, or I see why this person gets upset when I act oblivious to things that should just be understood. because that's what they are used to.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to make this point saying that I don't have a problem with none of those things. The problem that I have with it is when y'all say you're supposed to or you have to. Don't talk to me in that manner.
Right.
You're gonna get a whole different person if you talk to me in that manner.
You were supposed to have.
Yeah, I mean,
No, but I get it. And I think that it's just, again, all on knowing your partner and knowing their, you know what I mean, and knowing where they're coming from and their energy. Because again, it's not fair to place that. It is not. And as we're talking it out, it does seem unfair, right? And placing that burden on you guys as you should or you're supposed to or whatever the case may be, kind of the unwritten saying you're supposed to without actually saying it, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I just feel like it takes that partner. If you're coming into the situation as such, it takes your partner to say, well, hold up, like just like you're doing, to explain that.
Hey.
You know what I mean? To explain that to explain it to her so that way she can understand it and readjust.
You are, Kata?
Mm-hmm.
Any last words, people?
Great points. Hopefully we can take these things back and institute them in our lives. Take heed.
Listen, be heedful.
Be
We take heed, and when we implement these things in our lives, we start to see a different pattern, right? We start to see even ourselves change, because we be like, damn, it's certain things that I said I wasn't going to do when I was a kid, and I'm like, I'm a grown ass man, and I would damn sure do that. What I thought was nasty, what I thought was taboo, what I thought was whatever. When you grow, you allow your mind to expand. You experience different things. You see different things for what it's worth, and you say, "Damn, it's not nothing wrong with that."
No, I'm glad you said that. I want to make this point because there's two different kind of people, and this one kind of person I need to stay the fuck away from me. So there's two kind of people. There's people when they don't know how to do something, they try it and they fail until they figure it out, and then there's people that just stand there and look around until somebody comes to do it for them. If you're the person that just stands there and fucking looks around until somebody else comes and does it for you, please stay the fuck away from me, please.
Or the type of person that makes it a negative because they didn't do it,
Right.
And then, well, I'm gonna try it. You can't put a negative spin on something if you didn't try it. You don't know. Or stop saying, "Oh, I didn't know that." Go find out that information. Go get the information. Stop saying what you didn't know and just do it. You ain't got to tell the world you didn't know it. You ain't got to tell somebody you didn't know it. All right, we understand you didn't know it, but go out there and find that information. Go out there and figure it out. It's right there for you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Learn some shit, people.
That shit is not like that right there is not. That's not a like. You don't get points for not like for saying it's not like what you want. Go be doers. Stop being talkers.
Yeah.
That's what basically we're saying. Stop being talkers and go be doers. Stop telling what you going to do. Just go do it. It's like the boy that cried wolf. He kept crying wolf, and nobody don't believe that shit. People looking at you like this motherfucker got something to say again. They just selling wolf tickets at this point. If you gonna be a doer, go be a doer. Go do it. You spend more time telling what you want to do than going to do it. It's like, all right, we heard you 10 times already before. We don't believe you. Need more people. That's one of your favorite rappers, if I ain't mistaken. Ain't your favorite rapper Jay-Z? A couple shows ago, episode 96. Go check them out. Yep. Like, share, and comment on all previous episodes.
And don't be afraid of learning new things, people. You can always add to your portfolio. Don't be afraid of learning new things.
Killing me.
Don't sit there and wait for that man to do it all the time. Ask him to teach you. And as a man, I'm not going to sit there and I'm going to ask you to fucking teach me. I ain't just going to fucking sit there and wait for you to do it all the time. I'm going to ask you to teach me because you ain't going to be there all the time. Shit still got to get done. People still got to keep fucking learning how to do shit. You can't just sit in one space and not know how to do nothing. Like that ain't going to work. Yeah. The world is moving ahead.
Yep.
It's too much pressure out here. It's too much pressure right here for one person to do it by themselves. Like, we should want to do it together.
Right.
We should want to hustle hard together. That shit make it fun. It's exciting. It's a sense of accomplishment when you do it together. Because when y'all sit back and relax, now y'all sitting back and relaxing like, damn, we did that, babe. Now that shit ain't just mine, it's ours. That shit ain't just an accomplishment I accomplished on my own, and I'm with it. We accomplished this together. So now it's a sense of, damn, we did this shit together, babe. Let's continue to even go do even bigger things together. Now y'all learning each other even in a different space. That's a different animal. That's a different animal when you get on them levels. Because you're learning each other in a space that's productive and positive. Sky's the limit. And little negative shit, you'll be able to quell that shit before you even bring it to your mate. Because you're like, I ain't bringing that to bay. We ain't got time for that shit. We got other shit that we trying to get accomplished. We got other shit that we doing. We got other shit that we moving with. I ain't even gonna bring it to bay. If it continue to rear its ugly head, then I'm gonna say something. But let me shut this shit down right now before I even take it to that far.
All right, now so you good, brother.
All right, so this is my segment. Let's start off by saying, how about them Cowboys? How about them Cowboys? How about them Cowboys? The Cowboys went down to DC today and put a whooping on those Commanders. You know what I mean? So shout out to my boys for doing their thing. Give me a second, because you know what I mean. I'm gonna use KD word. The Metrograde is got my phone acting stupid. The Metrograde. That's what it is, right?
Mercury retrograde.
All right. So the Cowboys went down to DC and beat up on the Commanders 25-10. The Vikings edged out the Saints 28-25. His team took a loss today to the Atlanta Falcons. Shout out to the Falcons with a winning streak. They won 2 games in a row, beating the Cleveland Browns 23-20. And a shootout. The Seattle Seahawks beat the Lions 48-45. Tennessee in the house for our Tennessee folks. They beat up on the Indianapolis Colts 24-17. And the green team is affectionately known by our boy T-Head. Beat up on the Jacksonville Jaguars to improve the record. The only team in the NFL right now with a 4-0 record. We got to say that out there because Maryland is not going to let us down. The Eagles are 4-0 right now.
What happened? They beat the Till team today. The green team beat the Till team.
Green team beat the Till team today.
Yes, we did 4-0, baby.
With Doug Peterson returning to Philadelphia for the first time since winning the Super Bowl. So congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles starting the season off 4-0. Also, and Sunday night game is still going on right now.
Can we get some prayers up for Tua real quick?
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna get some prayers for Tua Tagovailoa. Right after this, the Chiefs are beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 38-24 right now. But if you haven't seen Thursday night's game, Tua Tagovailoa, the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, suffered an injury which they're saying happened to his neck and his back. But a neurosurgeon came in and said that he has been concussed for the second week in a row. He took a hard hit the Sunday before last, and came back into the game. There's a lot of controversy behind that because an independent neurologist who doesn't work for the team but is an independent neurologist that's on site gave him a review and let him go back out in the game and said it was just a back injury.
Right. He has since been fired. He has since been fired, but he went and played in Thursday's game. So just think, you play Sunday, you hit your head, and then you have a short turnaround and have a game on Thursday. Typically, these guys go from Sunday to Sunday or Sunday to Monday. Now they had a short turnaround and went from Sunday to Thursday with him re-injuring his head, hitting his head again, and being taken to a hospital where he regained consciousness and things like that. Since, again, as T said, the neurosurgeon has been released of his duties with the NFL and the Miami Dolphins team. So these are things that we have to be cognizant of and understanding of because they're the health and wealth of our babies. That's somebody's baby right there. That's somebody's son. So shout outs to Tua. Our prayers are with you, brother, for a speedy recovery. No, I do want to say The internet is a disgusting, disrespectful ass place because that picture that they made, the meme of him saying, "This is how you look when a girl sucks the soul out of you," was just out of bounds, man. Was just out of bounds, man.
It
That's
was out of. It
dirty.
was very accurate. It was very
Yeah,
accurate, but it
That's
was
what I was
very out
gonna
of
say, but it
bounds.
was
that's fucking out of bounds like a motherfucker, man.
It's very much so.
That man could have died on that play, man.
yeah, for real.
It's very much so. And I'll probably get killed if I don't say this. I gotta mention this. The Green Bay Packers came back to beat the New England Patriots in overtime. So the New England Patriots are now 1-3. That's Helen Weaver's team. We had to make sure that we said that because she's a big New England Patriots fan. So shout outs to, I guess, the Green team, the Cowboys, those Atlanta Falcons, and all the teams that you support out there. A number of these teams that we mentioned are teams of our families here at Sunday. At UnCensored Minds here on Sunday nights.
Listen, man, as soon as my quarterback gets finished rubbing on the masseuses' asses, it go for us, man. We back. It's gonna be
back. And also in other news, some exciting news. The NBA is back. Preseason games have started. The NBA regular season is in less than 15 days away. So you will have all 4 sports playing at one time. Major League Baseball, Major League Hockey, Major League Football, football, NFL football, and also the National Basketball Association. I'm already claiming my team for the season is the Philadelphia 76ers. T, who you got this season?
I'm got Brooklyn. The fuck?
You got Brooklyn? he rolling with the big Brooklyn Nets right there. Ish, who you riding with this season?
Sixers.
Sixer energy and KD.
Philly
Who you got?
No one.
He said nobody.
You ain't even gonna say the Atlanta Falcons?
Nobody.
I mean Atlanta Hawks.
Nobody.
You ain't gonna rock with the Atlanta Hawks? They good,
Y'all
KD.
good.
They probably is, but I never watched them. Okay, well, give me the Hawks then.
Yeah,
Give me the Hawks. In the comments section, I know y'all dropped it for football season. I want y'all to drop y'all NBA basketball team and the player y'all like the most in the comments right now. I'm rocking for the 76ers and my boy Joel Embiid for the MVP this season. T said he got that big Brooklyn energy going on right there. East got the big 76ers energy going on, and KD is just KD. KD is just KD in it.
Just KD.
You know what I mean?
Just KD.
I said I support the Hawks.
Just KD in it. They Trey Young just texted me and said, nah, we cool.
Yeah.
He said, nah, don't need that.
Yeah, we'll do that sideways shit. You gotta be all in.
Big energy. But that's sports. Also, please be on the lookout for this sports show that's coming up. It's gonna be amazing. It's called Game 7. If you haven't heard about it, you're crazy. Game 7 is hosted by my boy to my left, Big T. He got another exciting show to bring to you. I don't know how we find enough time and day in the day to do all this work that we're doing, but we're doing it. So Game 7 is coming up real
don't
soon.
let these kind of people distract you while you got
Game 7 is coming up real soon.
We not that bad, T.
Let's not forget about Telemade Kicks on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. And also us here at UnCensored Minds at 9 on Sundays.
Who has the Pelicans?
The Pelicans. They're going to surprise some people this season.
They might
surprise some people this season.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yeah. Cynthia always got that big New Orleans love. She liked the Saints and she is a Pelicans fan.
The Pelicans might not. They might be all right though.
If Fat Boy can get on the court,
Fat Boy can get on the court.
Boy can get on the court, they're gonna be all right.
Mm-hmm.
If Fat Boy gonna get on the court,
it'll be interesting this season. Mm-hmm.
Interesting season this season.
Make sure y'all tune in Wednesday for the Final Four face-off on Telemade Kicks. I might also have a special guest to join that as well. And next Sunday is our 100th episode.
Also, Telemade Kicks has a special guest. One of our audience members will be on Telemade Kicks. We got a special guest coming on Telemade Kicks on Wednesday. and they are showcasing their sneaker collection since they started watching our show. So our show has been a major impact on how they consume footwear. So they will be on there showing us their latest and greatest pickups and the reason why they are so into sneakers now. So tune in for that show on Wednesday. It's going to be a great show. We got the band back together. The boys is going to be there.
So are we now Teddy Pendergrass?
Yeah.
We the latest greatest inspirations.
Latest greatest inspiration. Turn off the
Are the
lights.
latest greatest inspirations.
Because I was about to say, wait, turn off the lights.
Turn off the lights.
Turning off the lights.
Yeah,
We are the latest greatest inspirations.
You know, Big Teddy is that Philadelphia sound, so you know we got to bring that energy.
Y'all do that damn
man.
thing. Mm-hmm.
It's been a great show tonight, everybody. This is episode 99. This is our Prince. This is our Prince edition. We're partying like it's 1999 over here. You know what I mean? So next week, when we come to you, we will come to you as a full Uncensored Minds cast together for the first time in 100 episodes. I am so excited because I just can't wait to see exactly what we have in store.
I might even get drunk that night. I'm
staying away from the alcohol. I got to the last time y'all had me drinking, I was fucked up. Had a headache for 2 or 3 days. I can't handle it. I can't. We got a great show for y'all. 100 show. Again, if you haven't liked, commented, and or shared us, please do. And again, if you haven't done that, you probably haven't hit the subscribe button either. I have so many people that hit me up on Sundays at 8:50. Nell, send me the link. No.
I ain't doing
if
that.
You're watching us right now. Just hit the subscribe button. You will get a notification.
Yeah,
hit the subscribe and the notification bell, and they will send you your own personal notification of Uncensored Minds, Tailor-Made Kicks, and Game 7 going live. So you ain't even got to worry about us sending you a link. You ain't got to worry about nothing. All you got to do is be like Rhonda and be there at 8:17 p.m. for the 9 o'clock show. Rhonda, we love you, Rhonda. We be seeing you in the comments an hour early.
Yes.
Rhonda be there with the setup crew.
Yes, she do. Yes, she do.
Waiting. And we don't hear no nothing from her. She just be sitting there patiently waiting, saying, all right, they coming. At some point they'll be here.
That's what you call dedication right now.
Yes.
That's dedication. That's loyalty. That's love. That's what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Shout outs to all our Uncensored Minds top fans. Shout outs to our our Strictly Uncensored. We love y'all. We couldn't do it without y'all. We wouldn't be at 100 shows.
It's always S Gang too. S Gang what up?
S Gang what up? It's always S Gang. It's always Raw Honey. Karen on the move. Karen's corner. Whatever Karen's doing at the time. We got Tailor-Made Kicks. We got Game 7. We got 7:30. We got it all.
Friday Night
Lights. Of course, Friday Night Lights is here. So again, all 4 of us is going to bring our talents to one big stage next week. Are you excited, people? Get excited. Get excited out there, please. This is going to be one of them shows that you don't want to miss.
I'm going to be in the room with these two.
Because you never know what's going to happen. If you see the fireworks and us sitting right here, just imagine the fireworks of us getting together.
How's the seating going to go? This should be interesting. This should be
in the corner. and you know what's so funny? My therapist is coming. My therapist is going to be in the building. And I'm gonna have my anger management coach in the building. But
no.
And my mama.
I'm gonna have to borrow them.
And my mama gonna be in the building with me, so I can be controlled.
I may have to borrow their services.
Man,
it's gonna be great.
But shout outs to all of our family out there. Again, the pink ain't just for a fashion statement; it's for breast cancer awareness. Please, ladies. Do your self-exams while you're in the shower. If you just had a night of pleasure, of you pleasuring yourself, move on up and check those tatas and make sure they cool. If you got to make a doctor's appointment and you can't afford it, and you ain't got insurance, we'll figure it out for you. We'll help. We just want you to be safe and secure. Get out there and get them early detections, and also get them mammograms, them titties checked. Go get them.
Tickle bitties.
We need safe, secure. We need the healthy titties. We love them.
If anybody needs help in that area, I'm available.
I'm a what? Feeling?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. My man is. I got something to answer. I got somebody to answer, so I can't say that.
Some people need help.
What I'm going to say
I'm
is,
here to help the people, man.
I'm here to help the people. I will pay for a doctor's exam. I can't touch on your titties.
Bring it.
I ain't touching on your titties. I will pay for a doctor's exam.
Oh my god!
But T is here for the shit. He wants to touch on all the titties.
I'm here to help the people, man. It's my specialty, man.
Y'all motherfuckers is crazy. I swear. Yo, you know what? I gotta apologize too for last week. I heard myself when I said off the camera. I wasn't shocked, but I just gotta say my apologies out there to y'all for telling y'all I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. You know what I mean? I be caring about some of that shit. Some of that shit.
They know you didn't mean it.
They
know
you didn't mean that.
What? I ain't give a fuck about none of that shit?
Yeah, they know you didn't mean it.
That's how come I told them next week, don't be surprised if y'all see chairs going across.
Katie, we gonna have security, Katie.
Yo, we gotta strip KD in, man. We gotta like tie her down.
Gun off your waist.
So she know how to act and shit, man.
You was not gonna shoot Guadalupe. She is gonna be in the building. You hit my daughter, it's gonna be a problem.
I cannot.
It's craziness out here, man.
I'm not bringing it.
Be great.
It's gonna be wonderful. I'm not bringing it.
Be great.
It's gonna be crazy. I'm looking forward to it. But if y'all have noticed, this is probably one of our shortest shows in a long time, but we packed it with so much information. We packed it with so much fun. We packed it with so much togetherness. If y'all have noticed, we came on here this evening full of information that's going to help move the needle, right? That's what conversations do. Conversations are meant to invoke thought, invoking processes, and also to help you think of ways to improve on areas of lack. All right? So don't forget to tune in to us next weekend, 9:00. I don't know if I ain't gonna say 9 sharp, but I'm gonna say around in the area 9 to 9:55.
It should be 9 sharp. But we'll see how it plays out. Y'all making no promises.
Down there.
Yeah.
Because KD is quick to take a shower. Yeah. You quick to take a shower at like 8:59.
I'm still getting myself together.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be on your ass, KD, at 6 o'clock. I'm like,
yeah, you quick to take a shower at like 8:55. I'm like, you'll hit us and say 9 o'clock, cool, anytime.
It's not me that be late every week. Y'all cannot blame it on me every week. I'll be here waiting.
Thursday nights ago. Thursday nights it's the same thing. Y'all good? Yeah. 9:30. It don't matter. I'm good with whatever. Here come KD walking in at 9:30. Oh, I had to take a shower.
Yes, every time.
I took a shower. It was at 9:10.
I say either or, and they never say which one, so I just assume it's the latest time. So,
but then you should be ready at 9.
Once again. What does assumptions mean?
You can't blame it on the retrograde either. Y'all be safe out here in these streets. People getting even crazier and crazier. Shout outs to the lives that have been lost in and around this country. You know what I mean? Wherever it is at. Let's pray for anybody that was in that Florida mess, that EMS. Our prayers are going out for you. And again, to the survivors and the people that we lost through the breast cancer, our love and prayers go out to you as well. We'll see y'all next week.
Take care of the tickle.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a great week.